Another beautiful day it is to talk sports. Welcome to Kicking It with Nairabet, where everything football and excitement in the world of sports gets to happen as it is hot. My name is Tracy Chappelle, the one you call Swore, and I'm blessed with a selection of entertaining and interesting looking young men. You be a host of life.
It's good to be here.
Oh my God, it's nice to see you on this other side, so I get to grill you once
Flipping the switch, huh?
Yes.
Flipping the switch.
We flipped it, tata. And of course, there's a baby-faced man. He's called Bruno. What's popping, man?
Hi, yeah, very pleased to be here.
You're very tame. You're not the tiger in Twitter.
No, I'm not. I'm a very quiet guy. I'm actually a very quiet guy.
Very
Nobody
quiet.
believes me.
Quiet don't work it here. We have to bring out the tiger in you. And of course, we have the fireman, Rufai. What's popping, man?
Thank you very much. I feel like there's a lot of heat that has been generated on this seat. I can literally feel it already.
I like it. Now let's jump into the heat of the moment. The player that's making everywhere spark. His name is Bruno Fernandes. Man has started 3 times. 3 goals, 3 assists. The question on everybody's lips, I'm going to throw this to you, is this: is he better than Kevin De Bruyne?
Can I differ? No. Nah, great player. It's often the times people throw around superlatives. Great player, is very talented and everything, but Bruno is actually a great player. When you watch the way he handles the ball, his understanding of space, where people are, it's just a signing that we all thought probably in hindsight should have happened a lot earlier, 6 months or 7 months earlier. But what a signing he's been. The way he's gone into that team and almost made everybody realize you're not playing at the level you're supposed to play. It's quite incredible. And for all the talk behind United about how they've revolutionized the scouting system and how they're using more data to work and trying to sign players, this is the one player that has almost validated that claim. So fantastic player. It's still early days, but when you say great player, I think you could tell. And I'm sure.
You dodged it too. You didn't tell me. De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandes?
Oh, De Bruyne.
Who's better?
It's only fair to realize that the only reason he's in the conversation with De Bruyne is because people think he's that good. He's played a handful of games, 6 games or thereabout.
Yeah.
His first game didn't quite go off on the high, but he's got similarities, and you can see why people think this kid could be as good as Kevin De Bruyne. I feel Kevin De Bruyne didn't even have a good a start as Fernandes had. I think Fernandes has had some 4 assists already this season, and he scored 2 goals, albeit from penalty spots, but one from, of course, a rocket launcher of a right foot he's got. But certainly, he's got the attributes that could let you see why people feel like this kid could be as good as Kevin De Bruyne. He plays his effectiveness, his one-mindedness. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't take more than 4 touches on the ball. Bruno does something similar. His ability to play in different positions, left wing, right wing, false 9, central midfield, drops deep. He's just that kind of player. So the question I'd ask to all the naysayers is there one player in the Premier League that has a Kevin De Bruyne skill set?
Okay.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes.
I think you put it the right way. In my opinion, when you hear the question, who's better, Bruno or Kevin De Bruyne, you want to jump on Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
But I also feel like we need to consider the fact that we watch a lot of Premier League football here.
Yeah.
So when you bring in a player that doesn't play in the Premier League, it feels like there's no way that player is better than this man that we see every week.
Because of the hype.
Because of the hype around the Premier League. But if you look at the stats, if you look at the numbers that
I'm sorry,
Bruno
are you
Fernandes
saying that
has got-
Kevin De Bruyne is a hyped player?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm saying we see a lot of Kevin De Bruyne, so naturally you want to go for him. But if you just take a minute and look at his stats, Bruno has got how many goals from last season? I think about 32 goals. For a midfielder, that's a lot of goals. That's 1. 2, Kevin De Bruyne, I think about 15 to 18 assists last season. Bruno had 19. So that's a lot of assists. And for a player who doesn't play in the Premier League, you hear things like he's been playing in the Portuguese league. He needs to come to the Premier League where the competition is tough. Now, playing for Manchester United is no mean feat. It's a big deal playing for Manchester United. So when you're a football guy that just came into the Premier League and you're going into the Manchester United team seamlessly, he's come in 4 assists, he's got 2 goals. I think he's got all the potentials. I don't think you can say he's better than Kevin De Bruyne, but I think he's at the same level.
Yeah, not out of
as
place.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Not out of place.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like this because I was going to you, bro.
Yeah.
I wanted to know.
I'm waiting for you.
I'm going to say this. First of all, I think it's ludicrous that this is even an argument.
Okay.
To be honest, in my opinion, I think it's people just jumping the gun, and it happens a lot with Manchester United players, and because of their fans. And naturally, when you raise someone up like that,
Well, it's not English.
Wait.
What we know is that people hype English players.
no, it's not just English players. Can you remember when Mateo came to the Premier League?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I knew he was.
Gloves, everything.
That was a bit too hype. But this is a
Yeah.
player who
But
has gone around. This is a player who has gone around European football and
Well, he didn't
has
have a good career in Italy.
No, I mean,
Was that too
how
close?
many footballers do well
Was that too close?
in many leagues?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No,
How is
I'm not
I'm going
saying
to
that
say
we
to
should
that
judge
is
him
this.
based on
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
saying that he didn't have.
Now,
a
what
good
I'm going
career.
to say to that is
This is like
players hit their peak at different
Yeah, of
ages,
course.
at different
Yeah,
levels,
of course.
right? As at the time he was in Italy, how old was he? Kevin De Bruyne had to go from Chelsea back to
But you
Werder
see-
Bremen, back
yeah,
to
but
Wolfsburg.
You see, when Kevin De Bruyne was at Chelsea and he moved,
Yeah.
he first moved to Werder Bremen.
Yeah.
Did double figure assists. It was fantastic. Then he went to Wolfsburg, double figure assists. In fact, he did over 30 assists at Wolfsburg.
So-
and he was playing with Bas Dost.
I'm going
the
I'm-
same
I'm-
Bas Dost
I'm going to
that,
drag this. I'm going to drag this.
This guy was playing with in Sporting.
I'm going to
Bruno.
drag this.
So
I'm going to drag this because now we know what you guys are about, and I'm going to bring the audience into it. So I have two guys here who believe that he's on the same level, and I have a young man here who says it's a disrespect to the man we know in the EPL. So tell me what your opinion is. Feel free to jump on the conversation, jump on our Twitter at Kicking It with Nairabet, and of course jump on the YouTube feed and any of you there. And if you like it, we might actually pop it up, if you get what I mean. One question I'll ask on this Manchester United conundrum: has the key to greatness been unlocked by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Yes or no?
I think Bruno Fernandes unlocked Ole.
Wow.
Yeah,
You know.
unlocked Ole, unlocked Manchester United,
He unlocked
unlocked a
Ole,
couple of
unlocked
other
Pogba,
players.
unlocked
Mado.
McTominay,
Sorry, how
unlocked
many
Nemanja
points?
Matic.
How many points do Manchester United have currently?
We don't care.
After how many matches?
Well, we know
29 matches.
we know they are
How many
not
points?
we know
How
they are
many
not in the top 4.
45
I
points.
think 45 points, yeah,
Bruno
that's
has
right.
played just
40.
5 games. Come on.
Yeah, cool. 45 points. And Ole is the god because he beat Pep.
No. I mean,
You had to
Lampard.
bring Pep into the conversation.
No, I'm sorry for
Now that you have brought Pep into the
No, we're
conversation.
going to take him out again.
Addition and subtraction.
No, but for real though, leagues are not won by beating the big teams.
No, I agree, but we're saying, can you confidently say now, seeing how Bruno has played in his last 4 or 5 games, can you
Yeah.
confidently say that if Bruno has started the season with Manchester United, he won't be in the top 4
That's
or he'll be
hindsight
competing for
2020. The question is,
Well,
has
that's
he
conjecture.
unlocked-
But
has
that's
he
a great
unlocked-
point.
Conjecture.
Is the
It is a
the
great
dark
point.
days
It
over,
is
or rather,
conjecture.
are the dark days over for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? That's the question.
No, I think so. I think so because I mean I was telling UB one of the first things I learned because I played football and not just street football.
You're
right?
proud. You're proud.
One of the first things I learned first was when you start playing organized football, they teach you positional play, how you position yourself to take passes. That was why I noticed, especially when Ole took over United first, they were very static. They depended on individual qualities, and they are not so good individually. They are a bunch of average players, right? Now Bruno has come in. You see with his movement, all of a sudden it looks like the team is
It's
always
still a
moving.
bunch of average players.
Exactly. So I'm trying to tell you that with 1 or 2 players, your team can go from being average and below average to above average and competing.
I think.
But you need to have
Do
a
you
system
concord?
that
Do you
works.
concord?
I think the first game, just to buttress that point Olakunle makes, the first game Bruno played for United, I think it was the Champions League thereabout.
Yeah.
He gets on the
Champions
pitch.
League.
No. It was.
I beg. Mine is not.
It was Wolves.
Man,
It was
I think
Wolves.
it was Wolves.
Yeah, it was Wolves.
Dude, bear in mind, he's coming from Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
Gets on the ball, and the ball, of course, is in transit, something like that.
Yeah.
He tells the player, "This is where
Exactly.
you have to be. This is
Exactly.
where you have to be."
Exactly.
When you
it's
watch
habit.
players nowadays, there's a mentality. Oh, I play for myself. There are very few players who have leadership qualities.
Okay.
But he's the guy that tells people, you've got to be 2 meters ahead. You need to
Yeah.
stand. The angle is not right for you. And when you see those qualities in a footballer that is supremely talented, you can tell he's not just about himself. He wants you to be in the right place because he knows, or maybe envisages the next action he's got.
This is where I'm going to end this because it seems like you're saying Ole's destiny is in the hands of Bruno.
I tell you
so that
what.
means no Bruno.
I tell you
no
what, I tell you
Ole,
what.
no next level.
Look, I tell you what.
Because that's
So-
that's the conclusion.
So there's an Ole conversation, but I think the one conversation that we're maybe a bit not too confident to have is that United are presently treading a similar trajectory to what Liverpool did when Jurgen Klopp took over.
Bam.
When Klopp was beating big teams,
when Jurgen
not
took over,
small-
it was the
small
big teams
clubs.
was bidding.
Yeah.
Losing to the small teams.
Yep.
I think Gary Neville made a comment some time ago that there is, or it was Jamie Carragher actually, United are not so far off from getting back to the glory days. A lot of people make
I think
conversations.
calm down.
No, hold on a sec. a lot of people make conversations about, oh, they need 7 players, they need 5 transfer windows.
I don't
it's
think
not
so.
true.
I don't think so.
It's not true. You need
agree.
1, 2, 3 key players in key positions with personality to get you to the level that you need to be. So hold on a sec. I feel very strongly that the one conversation we're not having is that Ole might just have started a rebuilding job similar to what Klopp did. And I'm not the biggest Ole fan, but when you see it's parallel to what Jurgen Klopp did 5 years ago.
Okay, I have to tie this up and move on to another manager.
All right.
And this manager is on the other side of London. And just like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's trying to reboot a club that is looking for the glory days. Apparently, right now, he's 3-0. I think he's the guy that anytime he sees his exes, he gives them holes. That came out wrong. But his name is Frank Lampard. And we're talking about the fact that he just beat in a masterclass Everton, his former bosses, Ancelotti, and of course just before that he just did a masterclass on Jose Mourinho. So the question is, how great is Lampard? Or is this just big boys? I'm going to throw this to you, Italian man, Sergio.
Well, he's a Chelsea fan, sure.
No.
Yeah,
If I let him land, he will go.
I thought we're keeping this in house.
Exactly. I don't let people know I support Chelsea. You know?
Okay. So I'm just going to say this first. When the season started, nobody really expected anything of Chelsea. And I remember saying it then that Lampard going to Chelsea was a big risk. Because at this point, you're losing your best player, you don't have a transfer window, you have to work with kids, and you know that kids can never be consistent. And, I said this is a risk, and I don't know why Lampard is taking this, task, because if it goes wrong, he would have to go back and rebuild himself again. But 3-4 months into the season, I looked at the Chelsea team, and I was very impressed. I was impressed because it wasn't about individuals, really. It was about the system.
Yeah,
They created a system that was working.
Yeah.
They were creating a lot of chances. They were looking really good. Obviously, they've faded for a bit and they've had their issues. And every manager has flaws. Yeah, Lampard has his flaws. I think he's learning on the job, and obviously he's growing and everything. But is it great? No, not yet. But I think that he's on the path to greatness with the way he's going about it. Because you have to give him credit.
Finally, we agree on something.
Okay.
Because you have to give him credit.
Question to you. Lampard, Ole Gunnar, are they in the same WhatsApp group?
We're still putting Ole in this conversation. No, what I wanted to say is, I'll just let you speak in a bit. The problem I have with Frank is, I call him Frank like I know him. What I have with Lampard is that there is a trajectory that is similar to Eddie Howe at Bournemouth.
I don't appreciate that.
Early in your career, you have to establish that one thing is the most important thing, which is winning.
Okay.
When you look at the great managers, Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti, Max Allegri,
Gary Neville.
No, of course. The players have to know categorically that the only important thing for you is winning. So it doesn't matter how good you play. So when I watch him in the post-game conferences and he says things like, I saw a lot of good things today. I think we played well. We pressed high up the pitch. I thought we recovered the ball very well. The most important thing is winning. And he should know that more than anything because of the boss he's got. Roman doesn't play around with things like that. Mauricio Sarri played better football than Frank Lampard's teams.
Bam.
Might be sterile, but
Play
better football.
I disagree.
Yes,
but the point I'm trying to make is that there is an overemphasis on this flamboyance. Let's play good stuff.
Even if we don't win.
Well,
now,
Arsenal played that for so long.
Yeah, as much as I agree with UB, I also feel like for all the top managers that you mentioned, it was winning. The most important thing was winning, but they also had a system to it.
Yeah.
So Frank Lampard came in, and it was apparent from early days that this is how we want to play. This is how we want to play. Now, why, as much as it is still early days for both Ole and Lampard, I would rate Lampard a bit ahead of Ole right now, is the fact that I think Ole, in my opinion, when he came in at Manchester United, it took me a while to see what he was trying to do. And even when it was apparent that this was what he wanted to do, he only wanted to defend and counter. That was the only thing. The players he was bringing in, it was obvious he just wanted to run on the flanks. With Frank Lampard, they wanted to play. He brought in players that could actually hold the ball and play passes. That's different. Also, I think Lampard learned quickly on the job. He lost to Man U 4-0 in the first game.
He still
the
lost
second
again,
game. Yeah, granted. The second game.
Again and again.
3.
Back to back. It's
now, the second game in the season, after losing 4-0 in the first, the second game in the season, I saw rectification of the problems from the first game. That's how fast he started learning on the job. So I'll give him that credit. For Ole, I haven't seen I haven't seen that quick thinking in managing games, in-game management. What's going on? Let's tweak this and see how it goes. I haven't seen that in Ole. I've seen a bit of that in Frank Lampard. Like he said, I think Lampard obviously has got his flaws, but I think I just
feel Lampard has a better team,
ahead.
regardless.
I
You know,
think-
you can give
I
Lampard
agree.
all the credit, but
I agree.
Chelsea are still fundamentally a better team than United.
I agree,
So,
but
and managers will tell you it's easier to work with a better team.
No, I agree, but
Yeah.
you also need to understand that somebody that came into a team that just lost his best player with a bunch of players that has never played in the Premier League, and he could bring together a good team. You have to give the manager credit.
But he
for
also
that.
lost
And he
his,
got-
only lost
he-
his top scorer as well.
Considering the fact, I'm going to throw this to you, UB. Closet Chelsea fan that you are. Nobody.
Close Chelsea fan. No way.
I don't know.
No way.
I don't.
My only chance to Chelsea are Michaelisian, Drogba, Mikel.
Okay. I'm going to throw this to you, and this is the question. Considering the fact that we already thought that Lampard was a guy that wasn't going to be using the older guys, and then he enters the Everton game and shocks everyone.
Yeah.
He brings the old guys, William, Pedro, what's his face, Alonso,
Yeah.
and of course the man everybody thought he hated, Giroud.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is a Chelsea that's going to show enough dynamism to hold on to the top four, or can a club with favour over Labour FC? I'm talking about Manchester United.
Yeah.
Sneak it over them.
I think they would finish in the top four. And like Cerebro made a great point. You know, Lampard is learning on the job. One thing he's learned this season is that you cannot discard experience. Every time he's fallen into a ditch almost, the first players he plays the next game are the old players. You know, Alonso comes back at left back. You know, Giroud is up front. Willian is on the right wing. When he finds a fantastic run of form, then those ideas start coming back. Oh, we can be a bit more flamboyant.
Yeah.
But
We are blown.
we're blown, so we can, you know, the Nigerian artists. But what I like is that he realizes we have to manage this path, this period, this patch a bit more judiciously. Young players are inconsistent, and we're talking off air about the one thing a lot of people fail to realize. People talk about Billy Gilmore. People talk about Billy Gilmore. I bet you, the moment they lose a couple of games, the person who plays in central midfield will be Jorginho, because he might not be as great as Billy Gilmore in those small spaces. But one thing is God is holding his nerve
Yep.
at the right
Exactly.
moment and things like that. So experience is important.
Experience is important. Okay, we're going to throw this back to you. Give us your opinion. You can follow us on Twitter. Use the hashtag Kicking It with Nairabet at kickingitwithnairabet.com. Of course, did I say .com? Oh, yeah, I'm going ahead of myself. Go to the YouTube and do that one, and then you know the other part to do on Twitter. And then be part of the conversation. We'll be right back and give you some other dishes because we have hot things to say. Hot. Okay, so you're welcome back to the place where we get to sit and faff around and talk about all the coolest stuff that happened in the world of football over the past 1 week or 2 weeks, is it? This is Kicking It with Nairabet. My name is still Swore, and I'm still with some handsome young men. They are young, no football age. And right now we're going to be talking about a football academy that used to bring us some interesting young talent. But now it seems like glory days are gone. La Masia, Joachim Low, after the World Cup 2010, he mentioned that with 7 players who managed to win the World Cup for Spain, he said with every pass you could see the quality. Is the quality still there when you look at clubs like Barcelona?
No chance. La Masia probably is the biggest scam of the last decade in football. For all the hype around La Masia, biggest academy in the world, they call it the farmhouse, right? Where they cultivate players, and I don't see them cultivating anything in the last 10 years. As a matter of fact, I feel like Messi has, you know, kind of shielded Barcelona and La Masia itself from all the nonsense that they've done over the last couple of years. Because I mean, for an academy that started as far back as 1979, you can count the number of top class players that it has produced. It has produced some very quality, solid, world class players. But for all the hype that the academy gets, they call it the best in the world. They call it. It feels almost like once you walk into the La Masia and you come out, you're another Xavi or you're another Iniesta, and that's just wrong. Look at how much Barcelona have been spending. They've spent upwards of £300 million to try and replace Neymar. And everybody that they brought in to replace Neymar has not even scored half the goals that Neymar scored. For a club that has La Masia, we should be bringing one player out of there to replace Neymar easily. That should be easy. It hasn't happened. So for me, like I said, probably the biggest scam in football since the last decade.
I have a question for you, Cerebrone, aka Cerebron.
Okay.
The question is this: if you had to have a choice to keep this La Masia as opposed to, since you're already buying as a Barcelona, and since most of the people in La Liga are already buying players outside, do you think the era of having a football academy for Barcelona is dead and gone?
No, actually, but then again, you have to ask what's the point.
Yeah, that's the point. That's what I'm asking.
get,
Because they have
like-
branches everywhere. It's like church now.
Okay,
They have
you
Nigerian
have your-
branch in Lagos. I hear they have one in Ghana. You know, so is there any need to still be
Because-
spreading?
You are saying that you have this top class academy, best academy in the world, right? Your player gets injured, your striker gets injured,
Yeah.
or two forwards get injured or something, and you need to
Go and steal
have,
another man's
you know,
wife.
I mean, they had to go because Braithwaite after the window had closed instead of just moving somebody because probably they didn't trust in the quality that was there.
Yeah,
and
obviously.
it's so funny because, for instance, there was Abel Ruiz whom they loaned out in January.
Yeah.
Now, see, the thing about Abel Ruiz is that he's from Valencia.
Mm-hmm.
They stole him, which I'm still angry about.
I know Sir Bruno
Like,
was going to get there.
I'm very, very upset about that. So, okay, you came, you went through all that nonsense, and at that time we had a gentleman's agreement with Barcelona that we don't.
You were at
poach
the table.
We don't. poach-
Sorry, you said we. You did it.
Yeah, well, it was well known at the time. We had a gentleman's agreement. We're like, okay, we don't poach your youngsters, you don't poach our youngsters. We'll do business together, we'll sell players to you, and all of that. And in true Mesquite on club fashion, they broke that deal. They went behind our backs and started offering money to parents of these kids. And that's how they took Abel Ruiz away.
Allegedly.
Well,
Allegedly.
at the time, our president, the owner of the, no, it was our president. It was
Peter Lim?
No, it wasn't Peter Lim. This was about 2012. Around that time, we're negotiating with them for Odion Ighalo.
Yeah.
And that case itself is another matter entirely.
Don't
That
go
I'm
into
still very pissed about.
And they scammed you guys
But
on.
yes. They, you know how Barcelona do? They use all those tactics and go and talk on the radio, go and complain. They did it with Jeremy Mathieu as well, but that one we didn't budge. But anyway, they did that. They took Abel Ruiz away at that time. In fact, it almost affected that Alba deal because our president was so pissed off. He did not want to negotiate anymore over that. There was also another youngster, I've forgotten who he was, that they put around the same time. They took two youngsters at that time. Okay, you've gone through that stress of carrying Abel
You
Ruiz
use
away.
them or not?
He has now grown up. It's like 18, 19 now. Oh yeah, play him now. I loan him everywhere. Alex Grimaldo was from Valencia as well. They came and poached him. When it was time to actually use him, there was opportunity. They didn't. Eventually, he went away to Benfica or something. Now, that just shows you that really, first of all, they don't actually make most of the talents. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a time they tried to claim Balotelli
Okay.
because he came to do trial.
Okay, here's the thing I'm going to show to you now. See, it seems like to me, because I won't finish this one, so if we go face the facts, say Zidane lost and my Blues again. The question is this: considering the fact that now most football academies, even the great La Masia, they are now used for hustle. Is that thing that used to, you collect player, you groom him small, and then you sell him and use him
Yeah.
to come and collect millions back.
Yeah.
You don't really use the player for your club. Do you really feel there should be a caveat that if you be saying you no go play this player, then you no go buy this player, or you no go carry this money, enter your academy?
Well, yes. I mean, it's neither here nor there, the rule, but I feel the way Barcelona go about I don't agree with.
Because they're not the only ones doing it.
So
Southampton does it too.
I don't necessarily
Every
agree
other big
with.
club does it. Chelsea does it.
Yeah,
Or some level.
don't necessarily agree with. I see the point they make, but if Barcelona think La Masia is such a great academy, then Chelsea can also say they've got a fantastic academy because they've got young players scattered across European football, and it's the same model.
They have humor.
It's the same model that Barcelona use. Sign players from so many clubs in the world, get them to pass through the La Masia, loan them out again, and whatever happens. The difference is Chelsea's academy doesn't have the name, the fame, the
So that's
glamour.
what we're talking. That's
Right,
what we're
right,
talking.
yeah.
That
So
glamour.
the one thing, what I would say is that La Liga probably needs to learn a thing or two from as far as marketing goes from the La Masia, because they have a fantastic, marketing. The people that do PR for La Masia is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the last, since that exclusive Barcelona team, incredible team to be fair, but Pedro of course came through La Masia. Piqué
Sanchez.
lent his trade at Manchester United. It's got to be said. Carlos Puyol clearly.
Yeah.
Xavi Hernandez clearly.
Yeah.
But Iniesta was bought.
Iniesta came through the La Masia, but he
bought
came
from
in. He came in, I think, as a
Tenerife.
12-year-old or
Yeah.
thereabouts.
Okay, so maybe
Even
that passes.
Fati that they are
Yeah,
celebrating
and
now was
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
somewhere.
it is probably one of the biggest football narratives that is built on a bit of luck. Same way United's academy is built on the class of '92. It's not so. Southampton have got a
it's
good
not
academy.
just a solid,
Yeah, it's not such a famed,
solid establishment.
you know, it's not
I'll
the
tell
great
you this.
conveyor belts everybody makes it to be.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Southampton's academy is quite incredible. West Ham's
Absolutely.
academy quite
Absolutely.
incredible. But
Absolutely.
because of Beckham, Scholes, Giggs, Nicky Butt and the rest, who Nicky Butt wasn't that good anyways. But there is just a narrative that this guy's Castle 92 academy,
Now,
such
I'm
a great.
just so
job.
quickly-
I'll have to end this conversation because I need to trade out to the listeners or those watching online. Basically, who has the best academy? Is it still the La Liga? Is it still La Masia? Or is there some academy out there? You mentioned Southampton. We have other academies doing fantastic work. Their players already playing
West
now.
Ham used to do very well.
Yeah, even
I
Chelsea
think.
now you can say
Yeah.
I can't call Arsenal. I'm not reading them.
You know
at
what I'm
all.
going to tell you? I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you.
Valencia.
No.
Which of them?
Even though I can even mention Valencia because we have first teamers that came
So
straight
who
from
is
our
who
academy.
is your contender?
But I'll tell you,
Wolfsburg?
it's actually French clubs.
French
Yeah.
clubs.
Yeah.
Actually,
Totally.
Lavra,
I think
in that
so. I
match
think so.
between
I
Real
think so.
Madrid and Manchester City, Lavra had more academic players than both clubs
Blast.
on the pitch.
Blast.
Wow.
Mahrez and the two Mendes.
Blast. That's a head burner.
No,
Now,
the French league is quite incredible for.
Yeah.
I mean,
their
go
exploits
to
as
Metz.
players.
Metz had Koulibaly come through there. They had Sadio Mane come
Bam.
through there.
Yep.
If you,
And
if
they,
you
they were there together.
if you look at it from the angle that you don't really hear French teams bringing in players for big amount of money. So
Those
where do
kind
these
of
players
betting.
that they use come from?
and they
So
always
it's-
replace them very quickly.
Bam. Okay, now let's get into the money matter. While we are here, we're about to play some games, and before we do that, I have to talk about Ighalo FC. Man of the match performance. And
Raise the glass.
Yeah, the god of Odion.
God of
Is
Odion.
at
Ah,
work.
work for
Favor
me.
over Liverpool.
Oluwa work
Yeah,
for me.
favor over Libers.
Over I love it. Now, seriously though, how big is he?
I'm going to start with the fact that when the deal was confirmed, I mentioned the fact that United would be happy to have him. You know how, because he's on the other side of 30, people feel like he's just going there to take pension. He's not really going to do anything. But looking at that Manchester United team, I knew from the onset, they're going to be grateful. They're going to be lucky to have him because he's a top striker. I've never been one of those people who, used to bash the guy because he missed one chance or that chance. Or if you're going to bash Ighalo, you've got to consider first how many chances were being created in the Super Eagles team for a top striker. So, big shout out to Ighalo, obviously. I think probably one of the biggest sporting events to come out of Nigeria in a very long
I
time.
think it's the biggest thing in this decade for Nigeria. Right now, so far.
Football.
In this new decade. It's the biggest thing for Nigeria in sports. Basically. But
I think
There's
so.
Anthony Joshua.
and then, we know him from last decade.
in this decade,
No,
This
David is a new
decade is a
decade
new
now.
decade.
Well, this is a new decade. Yeah, this is a new decade. So yeah,
You're actually smart.
yeah, you're smart. You're
I know I'm
smart.
smart. I was born on a smart day.
So what makes a great point? But I think Ighalo is probably the most influential Nigerian player.
African
Yeah.
player.
African
right now,
player.
I feel.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
when
Right now?
Right now,
yeah, right now. I think Ighalo is more influential than
Salah and Mane.
Yes!
Salah Mane.
Yes!
Maybe not. In the moment,
Yeah.
you've got to say
moment.
2 seasons ago, Salah was
so
one of
in
the
the
first.
yeah,
Mane is even the narrative built around Liverpool is not even about Mane. It's around Virgil van Dijk.
totally.
You know, but when you see what Ighalo is doing, I tell you what, Henrik Larsson, for example, Henrik Larsson scored 4 goals for United or 3 goals thereabout. His stint at United was seen as a successful stint. That was all down to
It was just narrative.
That's the
Narrative.
narrative and agenda.
Narrative.
You get what Ighalo has done, not just in the goals he has scored, the sheer presence.
He doesn't
the
look out of
comfort.
place.
He feels that.
He doesn't
Right
look
word.
out
He
of
looks,
place.
He looks like
Positional
he's part of this level.
Yeah.
You get so quite incredible. Only bar JJ, Ighalo is the biggest export in Nigeria.
Kanu.
Wow.
No,
Kanu.
Wow.
I tell you what.
Yes.
I tell you what.
Wow.
That's a very strong.
That's a strong one.
Kanu with the trophies.
Yeah.
Kanu clearly with there was a gratefulness about Kanu's recovery that puts him in a place where
Exactly.
aside sporting events, Kanu just holds a place dear in everybody's hearts because he represents a story of a comeback, a struggle,
agree.
and all that stuff.
I agree.
But Ighalo's story is the most unique story to come out of Africa.
Nah,
I don't think there's one story in
In this
Africa.
generation.
I know.
Yeah,
In this
I want
generation.
to point out something though. In terms of the influence that you're talking about, I think out of it is helped by the fact that Manchester United are huge.
right.
Totally.
So that just adds to it. I think if you want to compare and contrast with like Salah's situation, for Salah it's that he just has a force behind him. The entire Arab world behind this guy. So any club he goes to,
They just swam.
they follow him.
Yep.
Yeah, because
But for Ighalo, he's coming. He has carried his Nigerians with him. Then people from other places, just being Man U fans,
exactly.
just put them on his back
Exactly.
like that. He just has like the force of the entire fan base.
Yeah.
And that fan base is huge.
Yeah. I tell you what,
Well,
just for you go away from it. There is so much being made about the Nations Cup going back to January.
Yep.
I feel Ighalo is probably the biggest silver lining in all of that. This is showing European clubs the importance of signing African players. The support is incredible. It's like signing a player from Asia.
Yeah.
There's so much made about signing a South Korean player, Park Ji-sung at the time, Song Heung-min now. The following, the markets is just
Exactly,
incredible.
yeah.
But signing an African player,
Sorry,
I must
you're
say,
saying African. Nigerian player.
Nigerian.
Let's not insult
it's
Africa.
Tanzania's actually claiming Ighalo like he's
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that
But-
too. Kenyans are saying
Kenyans
he
are
plays
claiming
for our
but
country.
If you
quite
take
incredible.
the most
It's-
populous nation in Africa, one of the most populous nations
Yeah.
in the world. In fact, I think there are only two nations that have more people than we. That's China and
Yeah.
India. They just tapped into a market
Yeah.
that they didn't know
That's
that
a lot
was
of
there.
human
Defining-
resource.
I think
So
maybe
I'm gonna-
clubs are going to realize soon that this Nigeria is a market that they
Market.
cannot ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roma have shown it, but people are still not getting it.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you yes or no. If you had a chance to get Ighalo back into the Super Eagles, would you take him back? Or if he says he wants to, because I don't think like the Super Eagles can even be like, guy, we want to manage you back. It's his choice now, basically. If he says he wants to come back to the Super Eagles, should Nigerians be grateful or should they be like, Baba, relax, we don't need you?
I feel when
Yes or
you
no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
no doesn't quite do it. That's why
Yeah.
that no doesn't quite do
If
it.
you say no, you have to say
you
why.
have to say why.
Okay.
Right. I feel strongly that when you get into a place of reverence, you do everything not to get out of it. Nigeria don't have there's a structure around Nigerian football exposes too many things. The team, the players, the setup itself, it puts you against success almost in many ways. So when you see Nigerian teams succeed, it's out of sheer brilliance and will. Ighalo has got everything working for him in a perfect setup. I think it would be a mistake to come out of it.
To be
Yeah,
part of the
be
Super
part of
Eagles.
Super Eagles,
You
yeah.
too? Do you concur?
Yes. Ighalo was top scorer at AFCON. And after AFCON, he retired. And Nigerians were celebrating. If I'm that guy,
I'm never coming back.
never coming back.
Never.
I'll tell you the truth.
Never.
Because also he had to endure abuse after the World Cup. Everyone went at him, his family, just for one missed chance. Like, come on. It happens. Everyone misses chances.
Everybody misses chances.
Refai?
I think they set it up.
Okay.
There's no chance I'm going. There's no chance I'm going back.
Nigeria, world people, you tell me your opinion. If you had an opportunity to get Ighalo back into the Super Eagles, would you say, yes, come back, sir?
If you bring Bruno Fernandes, that's great.
We reject him. We don't want Bruno Mars.
United fans are quite excited.
We don't want Bruno
we have
Mars.
our people.
But join the conversation at Nairabet on Twitter, #KickingItWithNairabet. Lock it on. Fuck up.